Today we are going to see interconversions of states. We have seen many changes around us, but few of them are showing interconversion of states. So today we will see that what is interconversion of states and how it takes place. So we are going to see interconversion of states. So interconversion of state can be from any of the states of matter. We have seen three states of matter: solid, liquid and gas. So interconversion can be from solid to liquid, it can be from liquid to gas, it can be from gas to solid, it can be from liquid to solid, and so on. So these are the changes. Now what happened during these changes? There is one main point that during these changes one thing is not changing, but that is composition. Composition of matter is not changing. Means we can see the example of water. When we are heating water, so it is converting from liquid to gas. See, liquid to gas. When it goes liquid, then also it shows a formula H2O. When it is converted into water vapor, then also it shows a formula H2O. That means that either liquid water or gas water vapor, both are composed of 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. Gas also 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. That means their chemical formula is not changing. That is only known as interconversion of states. Now we can define this interconversion of states. How can we define this interconversion of states? Interconversion of states of matter. It can be defined as that it is a process in which matter is changing from one state to another state, but its composition is not changing. So what we can say? That it is a process in which matter changes from one state to another state, and again it come back to its original state when we are changing the condition, and again it changes back to its original state, again it changes back to its original state without changing the chemical composition. Without changing the chemical composition. And when it is changing back to its original state, when we are changing the condition. C1 here, Ci, and that means that when solid is changing into liquid, then we need to heat. So when we change that cooling, so when we cool liquid, it will convert it to solid. So when we are changing the condition, it is again coming back to its original state. That is only said here, but formula is not changing. Either in any of the process you see, if we are converting water, ice into water, we are giving heat when we are changing ice into water. Again, when we are cooling water into, then it will convert into ice. So that we are changing the condition, then it again come back to its original state. This is known as interconversion of states of matter. First you note down, then we will see that what are the necessary conditions through which it takes place. Now the most simple example of interconversion of states of matter is water only. So we will also understand this process with the help of this example only. So water. When we are heating water, so what happens, this water is converting into water vapor. Water vapor. And when we are cooling this water vapor, and we are cooling this water vapor, it is coming back again to water. That means two things we can see here. First, we are increasing the temperature. We are increasing the temperature, and second, for cooling, what we are doing, whenever we are boiling water, sometimes we keep a plate over it. So we have seen some bubbles are present there, water droplets are present over the plate. So that plate is showing that water vapor is converting into water. And why it is converting? Because that plate is applying a pressure over that water vapor molecule. So this cooling arises due to pressure. So these two are the main causes responsible for the interconversion of states. So now see two main causes of interconversion. Two main causes of interconversion are as follows. First one is by increasing or decreasing temperature, or we can say by changing temperature. By changing temperature, we can change the state of matter. Second cause, by changing pressure. So these two are the main causes which are responsible for the interconversion of states of water. One by one we will see that how this temperature and pressure are responsible for this interconversion of states. First you note down, then we will see one by one. Now we will see that how this interconversion takes place on changing the temperature. So let us see how. First we will understand this one with the help of an example, then it will be much clearer. So first I have taken the example water only. Suppose this is ice. when I am heating this ice, so what is happening, this ice is converting into water. This is water, and when again I am heating this water is converting into water vapor. This water is totally converting into water vapor. First, this we have seen. Second, let us see. When this ice is there, then we are giving heat. That means it is absorbing energy. We are giving energy and it is absorbing. So when this ice is converting into water, so it is absorbing energy. And what happened? It is converting into water. It is converting into water. Again, this water is converting into water vapor. Water is converting into water vapor. That means it is again absorbing energy. It is again absorbing energy. So these two are related, that when we are heating ice, it is converting into water. When we are heating water, it is converting into water vapor. Now, when this ice is converting into water, it is absorbing energy, and again water is converting into water vapor, again it is absorbing energy. Now see what is next. Now reverse of this process. When this water vapor is converting into water, this water vapor is converting into water, then what we need? We need to cool it. It is cooling. Again, when this water is changing into ice, again it is cooling. Yes, so it is just reverse of that first process. First we are heating, it is converted into water vapor, and when we are cooling water vapor, it is converting into water and again converting into ice. Now again see what is happening in this also. Come start from here only. Thus that this water vapor, when this water vapor are converting into water, they release energy. They release energy. And again, when this water is converting into ice, this is again releasing energy. It is again releasing energy. So what happened in this process? First it has absorbed and converted into water vapor. Then coming to here, then it is started releasing energy and again converted to water, and again releasing energy, it is converted to ice and coming back to its original state. In this whole process, what happened? The formula of this water, either it is in the form of ice, or it is in the form of water, or it is in the form of water vapor, does not change. So fifth point, that either ice, its formula also H2O, either water, its formula also H2O, or either water vapor, its formula also H2O. It shows that either ice, water or water vapor, these three are made up of by combination of 2 atom of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. Water also 2 atom of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. Water vapor also 2 atom of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. They combine together and form this water vapor. So from these points we come to some conclusion. Let us see what are these conclusions. First conclusion, we come that on increasing temperature, On increasing temperature, solid changes to liquid as well as liquid changes to gas. This we have observed here. We have heat this solid, it is changed into liquid. We have heat this liquid, this is changed into water vapor. Second, we have observed that on decreasing temperature, second we have observed that on heating or on increasing or when it is changing from solid to liquid, it absorbs energy. Second, on decreasing temperature, this liquid changes to solid and gas changes to liquid. These two conclusions. Then third conclusion, from here also it is clear that solid is absorbing heat, means temperature is increasing, then it is changing into liquid, then into water vapor. See, same here also when we are cooling, so water vapor means gas is changing into liquid and liquid is changing into solid. That is only written here. Then next we will see energy. When solid changes to liquid, and solid is changing into liquid, so what is happening? Energy is absorbed. And when, or similarly for this also, when liquid changes to gas, then also energy is absorbed. If you have written, then note down. And now energy is released also when this water vapor is changing into, or we can say gas is changing into liquid, or water vapor changes into water, then what is happening? Energy is released. Similarly, when liquid is also changing to solid, then also energy is released. Now from all this we have seen that its formula is same. So this is also one conclusion, that composition remains same. So this is all about interconversion of states. One more time we will just revise that this ice is solid, water is liquid, water vapor is gas. Solid, liquid and gas. So when this solid is converting into liquid on increasing temperature, when we are increasing temperature, this solid convert into liquid. Again when we are increasing temperature, this liquid convert into gas. What happens when we are giving heat? That means it is absorbing energy. So this solid, by absorbing energy, changes into liquid. This liquid absorbing energy changes into gas. Again reverse process. When we are cooling this water vapor or gas, this water vapor changes into liquid, means water. this water is changes into ice on decreasing temperature. Decreasing temperature means releasing energy. So this water vapor is releasing its heat into atmosphere and converting into water. And this water vapor also release its energy and converted into ice. Whatever is the condition, the formula of water vapor, water and ice remains the same. This is known as interconversion of states. Now we will see the second cause, that how it changes in the second cause by applying pressure. Now we will see that how this interconversion takes place with the help of states. There are some matter can be changed from with the help of, for example of in our daily life. This is liquefied petroleum gas. Call it as LPG cylinder. Liquefied petroleum gas itself is liquefied. By this word liquefied, what happened in this liquefied? See, when we are having a gas in a container, suppose here I am in a container, so we are applying when this pressure is up to here, when this pressure, these molecules are coming very near to each other such that it is converted into liquid. Full form name is petroleum gas, because in this gas, whenever we switch from that pressure, gas is coming out, so that forming the